You're listening to the Who is Christine Anyway podcast season 2. Today's guest is Ryze Hendricks. Enjoy. I am super excited today to hop on this podcast with all of you. I'm joined by Ryze Hendricks here. You all know him from the Weird Bars series on TikTok. If you have not, you will just nonstop laugh. So go check those out too. But we're going to get into the conversation. So Ryze, a lot of people don't know you're an upstater.
Man, you know what? It's crazy, but I know a lot of people who do know I'm an upstater though, because in a lot of my videos, I have the Buffalo Bills hat on. So when I come back to Buffalo, you know, they recognize me everywhere in the mall, when when I'm in the grocery store. So I think a lot of people do know I'm from Buffalo. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of Buffalo. Well, I mean, there's a lot of Buffalo fans, and for good reason, realistically. I mean, if you think about it. But the concept, like the people up, I don't say up here, like I'm way up north. Like I'm like Southern Canada. You're like Garbage Plate Town. I'm like Poutineville.
Yeah.
And we're dividing the state, like what's upstate? Like I'm poutine, he's garbage plate, down here is hot dogs and pizza. We're having that conversation. So yeah, I think that's amazing that you go back to Buffalo and everybody knows that you're from here. And it's I mean, you did a talent show in Kentucky. You got into music at 9. That would have left you here in Buffalo still, correct?
I was still in Buffalo, yeah.
So what like tripped you into it and got you into it? Because that's really when it started for you, was about age 9.
Yeah, you know, I've always just been a creative person. I always loved to create things, like from an early age. Like, rest in peace to my mom. She would say, you know, if she was here, she'd tell you, like, I could make a perfect circle when I was 2 years old. She'll tell you that. You know what I mean?
I still can't, and I'm 37.
Huh?
I still can't, and I'm 37.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can't now. So I guess at 2 years old, I was a better artist. But
I would question that. You're phenomenal.
I've always been into the creative arts, you know what I mean? And I always loved music. So when I was 9 years old, me and a couple of my friends, we would just be in my basement rapping. You know what I mean? I would, you know, of course I wasn't serious. I was just still a kid, but it was still just something just fun to do. And yeah, we would just put on like instrumentals and just rap and freestyle. Like me and my good friend, my boy Dave. Shout out to my boy Dave. He's light skinned. I'm brown skinned, right?
Right.
So I don't know if you heard of the group Crisscross.
Yes.
We thought we was crisscross growing up. I was the brown skinned one. He was the light skinned one, and we both had braids. And yeah. But yeah. So it started at an early age. I've always been into like creating. And I kind of dabbled with it up until like high school. Like me and my friends in the neighborhood, like we would just, you know, rap on karaoke's, make little mixtapes and stuff like that. But I never took it serious. I was more serious into like athletics, you know what I mean? But it didn't get serious until I got to Kentucky, that's where I attended college.
Yeah, and you did the talent show there, and you were, you know, your mixtape almost like kind of became like, I would say wildfire for lack of a better term. It was like one of the most talked about things on campus that was anticipated as a release. And since, I mean, you and I are relatively close in age. I'm 37, you're not far above me. So in the early 2000s, when Fruity Loops really kind of took a grapple on the world, did you play with that at all? Or was it just, did you guys find your beats somewhere else? Is it something you guys were making with instruments? What are we doing?
I mean, I knew a bunch of producers that made beats. So at the time, when I first started, I didn't know what any of that stuff was called. I was just into writing. I get the beats, I write to them, go and record them. So I didn't understand Fruity Loops and all that stuff at the time. But
it was fun to play with. It was just one of those things that was like you could get on there, and it was almost like when, I don't want to say the start of the digital revolution, but when people started realizing that you could create on these platforms like Fruity Loops and all these other things, it was interesting because then almost everybody was doing it. But I know that it was like right around the early 2000s that it almost became mainstream, for lack of a better term. What athletics did you do? What were you big into?
What? Say that again.
What athletics did you do?
Oh, I did I did basketball, football, ran track. That was all in high school.
All right,
And then
would
when I
you run in track?
oh my God, triple jump. I did the
Okay.
triple jump, the long jump, the high jump.
You
I
were a
did the
jumper.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, and real quick, fun fact. The name Rise actually comes from how high I could jump. My friends
Shit.
would call me, they would call me the high riser because I could jump really high. So
Hey,
so when I got into music, I needed a name, so that's why I came up with Rise. Yeah.
it's
Anyways,
good. It's
yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
mean, your
Yeah.
your birth name is on the internet, but it's good. I like your birth name too, Walter, right? Walter, yeah.
Walter.
That's a real nice name. It's so
Can't stand
classy.
I can't stand Walter, but I like Walt. I like when people call me Walt. Yeah.
Walter, like that.
Walter.
That don't. When you said it like that, it sounded so like a soggy dishcloth, like Walter. Like I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about the ER on the end of that. Walter. I don't know. Yo,
It's
I met somebody and he was like he asked me what my name was, and I told him my name was Walter, and he was like, he was like, Walter, that's a great American name. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
so from that point, I was like, no, just call me Walt. Just call me Walt. Just call me Walt.
I really like. I feel like if
feel
you
like
went
that
by,
for some reason.
I have never felt compelled to walk up to a human and be like, I bet you have Werther's in your pocket, Walter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like a Walter would have Werther's, like, and it's like that's a great American name, and I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That
but
must
anyway,
be crazy. Do you miss upstate?
I do. I do. I mean, I go back and visit, because I got family up there.
Mhm.
So I always love coming back to upstate. It's just getting, even when I'm driving and getting close, like, it's just something that comes over me because it's like, yo, this is the birthplace. This is where everything started. The arts, everything I'm doing right now, it was instilled in me in this city. So it always feels good coming back to Buffalo, man, and seeing all my friends that I grew up with, went to high school with. It's just it all feels wonderful.
I love that for you. And we're just about ready to get pounded by a snowstorm. Do you miss that?
No, y'all can keep that up there.
I
Keep
don't
it,
want it. I just don't fucking want it, dude. I just don't
keep
want it.
it, keep that snow up there. I mean, I'm in PA, so we get some snow out here too.
Buffalo is like next level.
But yeah. Buff. That's different. That's different kind of snow.
That comes down and it just comes down and was like, that's beautiful. And it's like check back in 2 hours later and they're like, is it still beautiful? It's like 6 feet deep now. So and it's lake effect, so it's cool. So
Yeah.
you have original music too. You're obviously known for the Weird Bars series,
Yep.
which I can't even get through without laughing. The share one, I'm sorry. Oh, so
Oh
funny.
yeah. That's okay. Hold on. I gotta explain this. Now the share one, that's actually part of a different series. That's not Weird Bars. That's this guy.
Ah, that's right. Real gangster.
Yeah. And his series is these lyrics did not match the beat. So
That's
yeah.
true.
So
You've got
he
a few things going. You've got like systematic branding of like three or
yeah,
four different products. And
yeah,
do you do it by yourself or do you have a team?
by myself.
You're a
By
goddamn
myself.
genius. You're a genius.
I just yeah. So real gangster, his whole thing is as you see the art, the producer and him
Yeah.
argue back and forth because the producer's like, dude,
Your face. It's like
he's
the
like,
mouth
yo,
shuts and the
listen,
subtitles come on and you don't need to talk. It's funny.
yo, that's what helps sells it. It's the
Mhm.
producer's face. You know what I mean? But yeah, so real gangster, what he does is, he takes like records you don't expect, poppy, happy records, and puts the most gangster lyrics to those. And the producer's like, no, bro, no. Like, your
Yeah.
typical gangster beats in hip hop is the classic West Coast sound,
Yes.
drill music, trap music. You know, that's where you hear gangster rap. So he's doing gangster rap to Cher, Britney
It
Spears,
works though.
Taylor Swift. It was only meant to be funny. It
It
was meant to be funny, right? And it
yeah.
is funny. It is funny to people. But in the comments, I started seeing fire emojis. So like, yo, this works. This is fire. Yo, we need an album. We need an album from Real Gangster. When
Yeah.
you gonna put an album? So I'm like, damn, all right. It was only meant to be skits and meant to be funny, but you know, people just they loved it so much and thought it was fire that I couldn't help but me and my producer, shout out Jerome, we had to put an album out and it did well, did great, still doing great.
It is great. And it's, what's funny though is I think, sales is, getting things out, pricing, getting out, but the marketing is the story behind it and the story that goes along with it and all that stuff. So when I hear about you and this other, because I imagine, of course, I'm on the other side of the music industry. So I'm behind this, I call it behind the stage. So I know that there are producers who have to do exactly what that producer has to do. Like they're like, this isn't you just don't gangster rap over this. But it's not always just gangster rap too. It's like, we're gonna put these lyrics over this metal song. And it's just like, I'm sorry, what? Like
Yeah,
it just kind of, so it's so relatable to a degree. And the content that you've made, even in the multi-brands, and it's amazing too, because you have Cameo. Guys, go to Cameo. I was dying at the example videos because that is just like, fuck flowers. I want that. Like that's just the best. It's funny, it's
yeah,
personal, and it's really a great way to how you've marketed and branded yourself. But
yeah,
the stories behind it and the realism that people don't understand, so it's relatable to everybody. It really
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And it's also got to be some sort of sensation for you to know that you are affecting, and when I say like an entire generation, you literally made people laugh during probably what was, the darkest time. People are sick, people are, and it could have been anything in their life going on.
yeah,
And you just pop up and it is impossible to not love your content. It is impossible to not laugh because it is so just sometimes it's completely relatable, but it's also if you don't want to think about anything, it is so unrelatable. It's just
yeah.
amazing. So how does that feel being you, knowing that, I mean, like, I don't want to say measly people like me, but anybody is finding these and it's like, I was just having the worst day ever and I found this video and you got to check it out. He is so funny. And then you trip into your other content and it is so like just good. The quality is so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, see and that's the thing. That's what made me really want to keep going because when I first started, okay, the pandemic hit, right?
Mhm.
We're in the pandemic, everybody's in the house, and I'm going crazy because I'm used to being out and performing, I'm used to being out on stage. Thank God I invested in a home studio and learned how to use it because now I'm stuck in the house and I can't perform, I can't do anything. So I put all that energy into these videos. And like I guess when I first started the Weird Bar series, it was just me just having fun. Like
Yeah.
me and my small group of friends, we all fucking goof. Can I curse?
Oh, curse for, yeah, you're good.
All right,
It's totally
all right,
chill.
all right. Yeah, we're all fucking goofballs. You know what I'm saying? We're all goofballs, and we do
Yeah.
like little silly stuff like this. So this is the type of stuff me and my small group of friends laugh at, and and I was just sitting there thinking yo, this would be so funny if I just take popular music and flip the lyrics and make the shit the weirdest, oddest shit. And I'm gonna play the producer, and the producer's gonna react to it. So when I started putting the videos out, when I was gonna make it into a series because I knew it was gonna be fun to do, but I had no idea that it was gonna do what it did. It was just something fun to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I start putting these out, I just started seeing how people was reacting to them. And I would say like the first 6 or 7 Weird Bars videos, I had gained 200,000 followers. And
It's
I was like,
impressive.
oh, I'm like, yo, what the hell is happening? And I started reading the comments and I started seeing, getting DMs, and people were saying like, Yo, man, like I was like depressed today, and I just go to your videos, and it just uplifted my spirit. It made my day better, and something like that just make me go, yo, I gotta keep doing this because I'm actually helping people. Not only is it fun, but I'm helping people. I'm lifting people up. So it just took over me. It took over me. Just kept doing it. Kept getting more feedback. Yo, this is getting me through the pandemic. This is really helping me. Yo,
Are
like
you thinking about marketing at all through this, or are you just kind of like, I'm gonna make another fucking video. I'm gonna keep making videos. Like, are you just jamming along, or are you like, I've got a plan?
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't really a plan.
It was just willy-nilly.
Only
It's
the
good
only
to
the
go.
only plan, the only plan was to make it into a series because I knew it was gonna be fun. That was the only plan. I didn't expect it. Like I think what is it? It's 221 Weird Bars videos.
There's a lot.
When I started this, I was not thinking about I'm gonna do 200 of these. No, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna make it into a series. I know it's gonna be something that's gonna be fun, but I just went along as people was giving me more feedback and the followers were coming in and you know what I mean? Then we start monetizing and being able
Yeah.
to make then being able to make a living and from there it was just like, okay, then it became, oh, I see what this is. All right, I can market this. I can market this. This is a way for me to keep getting myself out there. People can see my face. And
Mhm.
I know I'm a serious artist too. I make serious music
Right.
too.
You have
So
some originals, your viral singers. Let me see. I Gets Moolah and Heat versus Bulls, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is there,
And no,
and I know you have Spotify. Shout out to Spotify. So we need to follow you there.
right. Right. Yeah, you can
That's
follow me
like
on
super.
Spotify, Ryze Hendricks, yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're everywhere. You're well
but
done.
but putting these videos out there and all the followers coming in and enjoying the videos, then I started to see like, okay, we could package this whole thing into this is Ryze. You know what I mean? This is
You need
Ryze.
to write a book.
Yeah.
You really
I
should.
actually thought about it. I thought
You
about
need
writing a
you could write a couple. You could write one called Real Gangsta and like go down that road, and then you could just call one Rise and go down
yeah,
that road because that's essentially what you've done is you have, for lack of a better term, used a situation that made you into a phoenix. Like everything had gone to shit, and then you rose right from it. So, I mean,
yeah,
hey, maybe you knew more in high school jumping over those the high jumps and the long jumps. And one of my daughters does all the jumping too.
yeah,
So I get it watching them. I'm like, how do y'all's knees take that shit? But
yeah.
that's you're
It's tough.
phenomenal. You are, and
I'm
it's I'm
suffering.
gonna
I'm suffering now. I feel it now on my knees. All these years of jumping, yeah.
your check knees light came on, my dude.
It done caught up with me.
I actually have a story for you. So and this is actually kind of an interesting one because I personally wanted to tell you this myself. So further north, Watertown area above Syracuse, Watertown, New York. We're still in New York. There.
I've never been there, but I mean, I know Syracuse, obviously, but
Right. I would go around and I teach, marketing seminars that are usually free to the public. Um, I just believe that knowledge is free. It's what you do with it that's important. And if these smaller artists, I'd never cared about genre or anything, knew what to do, then they could go better. It was free and just people could come show up, learn about brand sustainability. So I've been at this for like 23 years. So, and it I'm going to say came across my desk probably about like I don't know, a couple of years ago, your name did. I had already found you at that point and I was watching it, and he was a young kid from up here. And, you know, the rap culture, the hip hop culture is it kind of, you're going towards Canada. So it's really not that prominent, but he cited you as being one of the reasons he continued going. He's like, this guy just takes things and he goes, and he was actually utilizing his own writing skills and he was listening to the fact that you were using, I'm going to say, uncommon beats and bars and stuff, and he was turning around and he was mixing and pulling and playing and doing all these crazy things, and he
yeah,
was like, I love how this guy has shown me that I can take whatever I'm writing and I can maybe potentially, because it is about rhythm and flow and understanding that and, everything else. But he cited you as his inspiration. And it was just one of those moments where I've continued to follow him. he wants to be quiet right now because he doesn't want every all over his place. So I told him I would just talk about the story. But he's like, if you ever get a chance to talk to that guy, tell him thanks for getting me through the pandemic and showing
Mhm.
me something new. Because I think it's masterful in its own sense that you've been able to take sometimes other genres, sometimes weird things. And he's like, I can take and pick and piece this together. You really show a versatility that is not commonly discussed in the hip hop community. Yes, I know it's like it's funny, it's satirical, it's comedic, but that takes versatility as a writer and
Yeah.
as a musician. The musicianship is phenomenal that you're displaying.
Yeah.
And that conversation has happened a few times. I'm like, you go here, you go do this, go do something. And they just come back and they're like, I can't. And I'm like, exactly. It's a level of talent that is it's impossible to surpass you. You're on a movement. You're on a rise. Go figure. So it was, I sometimes, especially, even myself, I don't understand the awareness of the content people have and the value of it on the internet, and it takes one. That's the one phrase that I've always been told. It takes 1 minute for someone to see you. It takes 1 minute for one share, one like, one comment to completely change somebody's entire life. One concert, one event, one eye contact with that person. And when you were set out on hip hop. Did you ever set out to be, I mean, obviously you guys were, fooling around,
Yeah.
like having fun. I think it's hilarious. I'm a very dark humored and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just think laughter is just medicine in its own right. So
Definitely. Most
now
definitely.
I've seen thugs just want to have fun. I think I saw you performing on a stage in a YouTube video. And I'm like, Cyndi
Super viral.
Lauper, can we get a little mix, like, like Pitbull jumps on things. Can we get Cyndi Lauper in here?
Yes. Super viral. Super viral. That performance was actually in Kansas City. And
So funny.
I didn't yeah, Kansas City. Oh God.
How'd you go to Kansas wearing a buffalo hat? No, I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
know, right?
I did follow the football.
I know. I know. I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year, so it was like they
Mm.
whatever. But that was in Kansas City, and performing that song, I didn't know. Shout out to my boy Kid Jewel. He's a rapper who opened up for me that day from Kansas City, and I didn't know he was recording. So he posted it to TikTok and tagged me, and I went to the video and I seen that it had like 3 million views in like a day.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh snap. Oh shit, let me see. And before I know it, it was everywhere. And a few of my like favorite content creators, they reposted it to their pages. Like Gilly the Kid. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but Gilly the Kid, he's from Philadelphia. Um he's crowned like Philadelphia Eagles #1 fan. Like he ran out with them at the NFC Championship or something like that, something crazy. But anyways, he reshared it to his page and they got a bunch of hits and stuff like that. So yeah,
How'd that feel? How'd that feel
it
as a fan to be seen by a content curator that you like?
felt amazing. Just humbled by it. Like, yo, thank you. I DM'd him like, yo, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you sharing it. He followed me back and everything. So it's
Did you
love.
fangirl? Did you,
Love.
did you,
Yeah.
did you
Fangirl,
fangirl a little?
and because I've been following him for a while, so it felt good. It felt good. He's doing his thing, so that felt really good. Um, so yeah, yeah,
It's so amazing. And you said you don't have a team around you, which is, it makes you DIY, completely DIY. I really would like to see you play in upstate New York, but I'm biased, like further up, like north, Poutineville. So it's kind of one of those. We'll wait till it gets warmer. I'll deal with you. I'll make a deal with you.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to come up here right now. I think we're supposed to get like 10 point something inches of snow tonight. So
Oh God, really?
yeah, and I'm up like out of the snow belt. So I don't even.
Shit. You know what? I should start looking at that because I'm going to Buffalo Sunday. I'm actually coming up there Sunday. So
It'll be
um,
cleared by then, I think.
yeah, yeah. What's today? What's today? Wednesday? Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully get that shit cleaned up because I'm not trying to drive in that shit, man.
And it takes a level of skill to do that. And you know what's funny is I'm like, you put me in a city and I panic, but you put me in like a white knuckle snowstorm and like all my friends that come, from wherever they're coming, whether it be like California or whatever, they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, relax. And like the car will slide and you're like, it's
Yeah,
cool. And you're just like flying all over the road. So there's like a level of enjoyment in that, but also at the same time, like, please clear the roads. I don't want to die.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for real,
So,
for. But no,
eight.
you mentioned something about musicianship. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it takes skill. See, because it is comedy, but that's I don't want to call myself a genius, but that's the genius part in it. I wanted to show people, the skill in this. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like the flow, being able to flow to different type of music, different type of beats. Like if you go look at the series of Real Gangster, it's so many different flows and so many different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the topic is the same, of course, which is gangster rap. You talk about guns and drugs and
But
stuff
it's
like that.
like improv. It really is like improv. If they go, this is your scene, now you have to do it. And it's
Yeah,
just kind of bopping all around and you have to maintain
yeah,
that character. That is not easy. That is not something that is, and I think that really does kind of get lost, especially in mainstream culture, the level of musicianship that goes into hip hop and rap and understanding lyricism and the flow of things. And you'll hear people like, well, there's no instruments. And I'm like, do you have any idea how their voice is an instrument or their brain at this point? These bars, there's a producer who's written, these things and they're going, well, that's not an instrument. And I'm like, what do you think made that fucking sound in the first place?
yeah,
it's just it's
yeah,
just you're recording that you're finding a way to loop it and you're finding a way to do it and you're finding a way to do this. And the fact that you've been able to genre jump, that's like so impressive. So your cadence is changing, your time signatures are changing, your tones are changing, the syllables of the words have to be mindfully placed, and at the same time it all has to make sense. Like,
yeah, yeah,
that's a
yeah,
fucking musician. I don't know how anybody could consider that otherwise. I think
yeah,
people just I think people need to chill the fuck out most of the time. But
yeah.
so when you do your writing, like you hear people talk about all the time, their writing process, it'll hit them randomly. It'll be an iPhone note or just napkins or whatever. Do you have a process? Like if you're out grocery shopping and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this song's on the overhead again, and it just kind of hits you. Do you just jot it down on the box of pancake mix you just picked up, or do you like whip out the phone?
Look, that's funny because I love music, and we hear music everywhere. I could be in the grocery store, and a song will come on, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah," and then right there, my brain is working. How could I flip this? So I'll go jot it right in my phone, jot it right in my Samsung, and
Right to the voice memos, or right to the. I'll text people.
I take my notes, and I come home, and I just lock in. I play the music, and what I'll do is I'll listen to the music over and over with the lyrics.
Okay, so you're my karaoke partner. Got you.
Yeah, 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 yep. Yo, you have no idea how many karaoke parties I get invited to.
Do
It's
you
countless.
do you ever want to go to just practice the cadence of the songs? Like to just kind of and the flow of the song, like, all right, I'll go to your, fucking karaoke night or your whatever bar or whatever, or even just like your friend's house and just be like, okay, I want you to put on like now that's what I call music. What number are they on right now anyway? Like now that's what I call music 236. And like knows, like put like slap one of them in or just like hit me random and then just go with it just so you can kind of get it. Like Hanson's Bop on repeat, please. Like,
Right. No, that's how I do it though. That's how I do it. Like I've been to one karaoke party, and that was my good friend Eli. And everybody was just so anticipated what I would do. You know what I mean?
oh,
So
yeah.
so of course I did some regular songs, regular singing, to the music, but then of course I had to switch the lyrics up on a few of them that a few weird bar songs that I already had out, and of course had the whole party laughing. It's a lot of fun.
You just
But
gotta go like to a children's party dressed up as a clown, and then like they'll have karaoke in the corner and just randomly like, kick the kid out the way, grab the mic,
oh
like
my,
rip off the nose. Like
just pick them up. Not it.
Yeet him right into the bounce house. Just yeet
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kid.
But
Right
yeah,
into his own cake. It's fine. They
yeah.
bounce.
He'll be all right. He good. But yeah, that's my process. I listen to the real song over and over, and I'll pretty much just take gangster rap and replace the lyrics with with the song lyrics, or
Yeah.
the same thing happens with Weird Bars. But of course, you got to make the lyrics. You got to like. This is why the Weird Bar series is so relatable, because everybody makes the face that the producer makes.
Yeah.
Everybody makes the
Yeah.
face when they hear the lyrics. So when I'm writing, I try to make the lyrics is super left. So
Yeah. Ludicrous, way out there kind of thing.
I can react to it. And this is the thing too. Like I'm an actor. I'm an actor as well. So when people say, "Yo, I love your faces," like, "Yo, how do you come up with these faces?" And I'm like, that's acting.
I
That's
was born that way, you fool. It's the
acting.
trauma. It's the
It's reacting to what you hear. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that's that. So that's the process.
Yeah.
That's the
Of all the videos you've made, because you've amassed quite a few. Like you said, there's like 200 and something in this collection and this one and that one. And I mean that's countless numbers of hours of work alone. Do you have one that you're like, this is my favorite of all time? And it could be like your first one that's really janky and way out there, or it can be one that's like super polished. Anyone
I
that's just your absolute favorite.
I see and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of good
Pick
ones.
your favorite kid, damn it.
But I had to pick one. I gotta go. I gotta go with Weird Bars Part 13, because Weird Bars Part 13, that's the one that's over Drake and Future's. I forgot the title of the song. It's the one that go working on the weekend like usual. You
Mm,
know, about I forgot. I can't think of the title right now. It'll hit me later. But I mean, people that's tuning in, I'm pretty sure they know the
yeah,
song.
yeah.
But that one has to be my all-time favorite. I got to go with that one, because when I originally put that one out on TikTok, it got taken down. They took it down saying that the lyrics were sexual or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck?
What do you
Sex?
write? Like, what do you
Where do
write
you?
in your like objection? Like, it isn't my business what they're doing to my song, but like, okay.
I was like,
Like,
sexual. I mean, the only part I say, it's the one lyric where the kid kicked me on my nuts, but that's it. Nothing sexual. So I challenged it. I challenged it because you can appeal
yeah,
if they video
yeah,
down, you can appeal it. So I went and appealed it, and I got a notification like maybe a few hours later saying sorry for the inconvenience. We made a mistake. Blah blah blah. Right?
yeah.
They reposted it, and it went bonkers. I guess TikTok felt bad
I was gonna
for
say,
taking that.
do you think there was a level of, I don't want to say apologeticness, but it's almost like they almost put you back in favor of the algorithm gods per se. They're like, whoops, and they put you to the top of the page again, which is like a mulligan almost. Like, do it over.
Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt like
Yeah.
they felt bad for making a mistake, and they just put it everywhere. It went stupid. And I think off that one video, I think I got like 1 million followers off that one. And that's
Crazy.
where from there it was just like momentum really kicked up from that one.
When
And
you
it
think when
everywhere.
you when you when you think about it and you start talking about your numbers and you're talking like 8 million, 3 million, like millions of people. That's like that
Crazy.
Oranges song, millions of people. Oh, that's Peaches, millions of peaches. Yeah, that song, the president's song. That's funny. That was an alternative song, but that's millions. That's entire populations worth of people.
Yeah. Crazy.
You are the leader of an entire population.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Crazy to think about that.
How do
And
you handle, I mean, at 8 million people, obviously your DMs just blow up. It's like I can't imagine they don't like, and it's got
Yeah.
to be hard because you're very. I know you really like to kind of be interactive, and sometimes you really do engage your fan base. You do really listen to them. I have a sensation that you read a lot of their comments,
Yeah.
and you really hear what they're trying to say, and you do answer, comment, all these things. You email back, you handle your own shit. Like that's incredibly impressive to think that a person with I think it's 7.7 currently, but I'm rounding it up to 8 million people takes the time and is, that makes you so multifaceted. It's like looking at a gem.
Yeah.
You're able to handle your business, be an actor. It makes you so versatile.
Yeah. It's a
And
lot.
it is a lot. It's got to be exhausting for
Yeah.
one, but it's also this amazing, I don't want to say it makes you an amazing creature because that sounds kind of offensive, but it's awe-inspiring to think that you're like I was just sticking off and now it's this amazing thing, and with the writing having and the actual work having started when you were 9, and then did you ever release that mixtape right down in Kentucky, correct? After the talent show you did release it, right? Have you ever thought of re-releasing it now that you have reached these numbers organically?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. That is classic. I've thought about it on and off over the years. Should I bring it back out? But I mean, people that I went to college with, they'll tell you, "Yo, this is a classic. This is a classic. We
Mm-hmm.
love it." Like every now and then, my old college buddies, they'll send me a picture to my inbox of the CD. They still have the CD, and I'm
I
like,
love it.
wow. Like I don't even think I have
That's
the
a
CD.
sensation too. Like to know that somebody has kept that and been like, I need this. It's valuable to me. Like you felt
Yo,
held to. Like that's a legacy.
I got a friend. I got a friend from college that got the CD from me, and he went off to the services, went to Iraq, went to war and everything. He told me that he had that CD there with him. He said that CD got him through that whole situation. I said, bro, that's heavy.
That's
That's heavy.
amazing.
You know what I
That
mean?
is,
That's heavy,
it's
heavy.
heavy, but it's incredible to think that. And it
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprising if that's just, you remember, now think about that. That's one story out of a million. I mean, and when you're over serving in overseas and stuff, now I have not done it, but hearing the stories and stuff like that, those things, those pieces of media that they cling on to,
yeah,
um, you know, it's kind of like when you go through something and it like that anthem, they call them like the anthems of the summer. Like, oh, this is the song of the summer. But like that really is the glue that binds the person together. And
yeah,
to know that your lyricism and stuff, and they're out in they're risking their lives. It's fucking insane. They're such
yeah.
amazing people, our servicemen are. And they're out there and your song's going through their head while they're just jamming, doing their job.
Crazy.
That's a fucking accomplishment. I don't want to say fuck 8 million people, but I mean, like, if one person ever contacted you and that was
Right.
all you ever heard, like, that's enough.
Yeah, like stuff like that. And that was before TikTok and the millions of followers and all that. So it's all these things like that just inspire me to keep doing this because you're making an impact on people's lives, you know what I mean? But to go back about re-releasing it, I say like it's cringe to me now when I go back and listen to it because I'm like, oh my God, my flow is so much better now. My my songwriting skills are so much better now. So it's a little cringy for me,
You
you know what I mean?
should cringe at your older stuff. That means you've done
Yeah,
better.
yeah. But like I said, my college buddies, they still love it, they still play it, they still listen to it. But for me, I'm like, I don't know.
I hope not. You're over there like, hey, I hope not loudly. Forget my name when you mention it,
It's
just
a
for a
few
minute.
songs. It's a few songs from there that
Mhm.
I did put out on YouTube. I do have one or two that's on my YouTube channel, but the whole album, I don't know. I got to go back and listen to it. I got to go back and listen to it to see.
You gotta go over the cringing thing first.
Which,
You gotta stop
right? I know.
cringing.
I know. I gotta find it. I don't
How
even
do you
have it.
have your own?
I gotta ask one of my friends to burn it for me and send it to me or something because
Do
I
they
don't know.
still do that? Like my laptop doesn't even have a CD drive anymore. Like I'm from your generation. Like I made burnt CDs for people as gifts. And now everyone's like my kids are like, ew, why? I'm like, because that's what we did back then. Like rude.
Yeah,
It's like You
Yeah.
don't know love until you get a CDR with like a hand-drawn Sharpie heart or something.
Yo, listen. I did all of that. I had the CDs, I had the Sharpie on there, Ryze. Certified Artist was the name of my first
Yeah.
mixtape. Certified Artist. And I used to draw my own CD covers. I draw it on the paper, cut it out to fit inside the CD case, and that's how I sold them, just like
Are
that.
you artistically inclined with terms of drawing too?
Yep.
You are? I can't. So if we ever like end up in a hostage situation and they said they need a map, just don't ask me.
Yeah.
Because we're just I'd just be like, we're gone. Sorry.
Gosh.
Like we can do karaoke, we can do trivia, but you ask me to draw a map and we're fucked.
We're good. Yeah, yeah.
It's on you. It's
All me. All
all
me.
you.
I'll take it on. I told you I love to create. So my bachelor's is in studio art. So that's drawing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you
Yep.
ever feel, I mean, are you going to be a perpetual content creator or have you thought about like teaching in schools or even hosting like your own like type classes or a summer camp for like a week to kind of, almost like rise and inspire, you could call it. And it kind of like help children, I don't want to say children in the arts, young adults, people in general, and kind of because that's essentially what you've done is you've rise and inspired.
Yeah, you know
You
what? I haven't like recently I haven't thought of doing anything like that, but I have done it in the past. In the past, this job I used to work with the youth, like like trouble youth.
yeah,
And they
I could
basically
see
put
you
me.
doing that. I feel like you'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of fun. Kids, they love me, but I love the kids though, so they feel that energy. But yeah, they put me over the music department, and I basically taught them how to use the studio, come to the studio to record and stuff like that. So I've done it before, but um I don't know.
So
Doing it today, I don't know. I got to think
it's
about
on
that
the
one.
maybe list. We'll put it on the maybe list.
Maybe list. Yeah,
Okay.
put that on the maybe
And
list.
we'll just put that on the maybe list. And it's
Yeah.
funny because when I started in music, I was 14 and I wandered into a music venue into like a punk rock show. And I just kind of was like, it was like that click. Like it just was like, oh, okay. And then I just, yes, everyone's like, oh, you want to be a performer. And I'm like, I don't think I ever looked at the stage and said, I can't wait to be on holding the mic. I always loved that moment at the crowd when you look at the people and you're going right now this person could be turning away from something, this person's life could be completely changing, that moment in their eyes when they're against the barricade or in the crowd, or and it's any genre of music, it's not one type versus another. I've worked with several genres and I love how it inspires people. And I do a lot of work with youth too. I being 14, I had a troubled childhood. Naturally, I grew up with my grandmother, and it's one of those things where I absolutely love to hear what kids have to say in terms of like when it comes to their interpretation of music and how it's culturally evolving. I also love how a child, or I say a child, a young adult, it could be anybody. I want to say like an at-risk even adult, like somebody who's maybe, struggled with addiction or all these other things. You put them in a studio and you give them the ability to speak, and it may be over a beat and it may be whatever, and you watch that person transform. They
Yes.
completely fucking transform. they
Yes.
they're heard, they are seen, that you can see the confidence building, you can see, it's almost like you can feel that build. And naturally, of course, we're 20 years later and we're like cringing, but still at the same time it's one of those things where it's like that, what you've done with youth, even troubled youth, and putting them in front of a microphone is phenomenal.
Yes.
Even giving them a journal and just saying, hey, we're going to use, what was it, like iambic pentameter was one of the poetic forms and all these other things, and teaching people, there's just English. I was hilarious. I was absolutely trash ass in school because I had like, home sucked. I had to work, and I was like, I was 14. I was doing so much. It was too much. And I actually had my English teacher popping on here in an episode, which is funny because I never fucking did a single homework assignment he ever gave me. Yeah. Like, but he was amazing because he saw me and he was like, let's do what works for you.
Hmm.
And I really feel like in the 2 years of his guidance, and it wasn't like he wasn't overbearing. He was wonderful. He did character development by watching The Simpsons. Like he'd have us watch The Simpsons. He's like, tell us character development. That's a fucking like if you can pull the character development out of those characters. And I mean, that's a long running series for a reason. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's coming on, and it's one of those things. He ended up having a magazine, and he's followed my career, and he's wonderful. But it's that one again, that one, and it's that thing where it's like you've had that one moment, and it's one of those things where it's like you haven't, you're beyond 1 million, you're up to 8 million, and 8 million eyes, sets of eyes. If you just envision that,
Yeah.
think you're amazing right now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
They
you. And
know
I
you're
think that's
amazing.
what
They don't think they
that's what
know.
really, that and that's what really turned me on and made me interested in TikTok because it was when you post on TikTok, um it's almost like a talent show.
Yeah.
They're putting you in front of a bunch of people that don't follow you. This is going back to the beginning when I was first interested. I'm like, shout out to Gary V. I don't know if you know who Gary V
I
is.
do know Gary V's content. I do appreciate his content,
Listen,
actually.
shout out to Gary
No
V.
bullshit, straight to the point guy.
That's my guy. He's the reason why I joined TikTok because he I saw a video with him saying, hey, listen, if you're an artist, if you're a small business,
Just
you need
fucking
to be on
create.
TikTok. He said this in 2019. He
Mm-hmm.
said TikTok is going to be the next big thing. He said this in 2019. This is before the pandemic because TikTok blew up during the pandemic.
It did.
So just him explaining it, he was like, like if you got good content that you can go viral, they're gonna put you out in front of all these people. And I was like, oh snap, really? I'm like, okay. And when I, got on the app and I started studying the app, I'm like, yeah, this is like a talent show. They're putting you in front of a whole bunch of people that you don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And based on your content, if the people like it, then they'll show you to more people in the room. And then if they like it and they interact with it, then they'll show you to more people that enter the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like that's what I loved about it. You know what I mean? It's like it's a stage. It's a stage.
And it's interesting, especially with Gary V's stuff. I love the opposite effect also. If someone hates you, they will share you too. It's also that concept. Like, hey, love or hate me, share, share, share. It's a great way that, they say no press is, there's no such thing as bad press. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
as having worked in PR, I have other cases I'd rather work than not.
Yeah, yeah,
but sure.
right.
But the concept of somebody like, okay, cool, you're like, they keep sharing it. It's accurate. But then there's that little tiny percentage. They're haters. They just do that. Everybody has them.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
mean,
one of
they
those
help
things.
out too.
You're still sharing your content, talking shit, but that's another view, and that's another like one person could be 30 people.
Yeah, they help out too. They don't realize it. They help out too. When they comment and they little hate and shit in the comments, it helps the algorithm. So bring it.
And it's funny because so in doing marketing research and all this other stuff on the social media platforms, as I do social media marketing, it's interesting to me because to show up on Instagram primarily, this was the last I knew, somebody has to just simply save your video. It actually puts it further up. I call them the algorithm gods. Like, do they shine on you or do they not? So when somebody saves your content, it actually increases your value and to who it is shown to. When they share your content, it gets shown to a select percentage of their population. If they send it privately, it goes to that one person. And it all depends on who views that content. So if I put out a piece of content and I get somebody like you who sees it, you just see it, it's going to get shown to more people. You don't have to like it. You don't have to interact with it. There's a certain like second momenture in it where it just goes, okay, now this is what people want to see. And that's how it works. But when people save the content, that actually affects the algorithms larger than people understand on Instagram. And it has the same effect on TikTok as well and Facebook. It's the saving of the content that actually does it because that means you're going to refer back to it later.
Mm.
That's why recipe videos cook the internet because I'm going to save this pancake recipe. So that means it's going to an archive. So that means I may watch it 15 more times. So if they go, okay, they clearly want to keep referencing it back. So it'll continuously, it's like showing something in perpetuum. Like it's just going to do keep going if you
Hmm.
save it. So it's one of
Yeah.
those things where shares are important, likes are important, comments show it to other people as well, unintentional, because it's like friends and friends of.
Hmm.
Unintentionally, it's just kind of it's the algorithm gods. It's how they work. But the saving is what makes it infinite
Yeah.
because it's
See,
never technically
I didn't
gone.
think about that one. I'm always thinking about the likes and the shares and the comments, but I didn't think about the saving. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That makes sense. It makes sense. Any type of interaction with your content, they gotta
Yeah.
the algorithm guys, as you call it, they gotta like, show it love and push it out even more.
It's
Damn.
interesting. Yeah, there's a whole entire like and it's crazy because a lot of these things I find out by just like experimenting. Sometimes, you can remix on Instagram and stuff like that, and you go to different things. And I've gotten really a bunch of great clients that let me into the back ends to see how these things work and what works and what doesn't work. And when you talked about, you're like, no, they took my content down. Is that something you like? I would think, and I love that they don't take it down, but especially how things are on the internet and whatnot, how volatile it can be. Like 1 minute you're on the top, the next minute you're on the bottom. You never know. Do you ever have content taken down and they go, okay, you can't do this or you can't do that? Or do they leave your content alone?
No, people don't even realize this. They've taken a few of my videos down. And of course it's frustrating because this is what TikTok will do. Because this is what I like to do too. This is what I like to do. Like I realize that I'm always getting new followers. I'm always getting new people. So, like on TV when they show like they'll show the same episodes or whatever,
Yeah,
or like
reruns.
reruns. So I try to operate my social media like that. So what I'll do sometimes I repost things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it's a hit, I'll put it back out. Like, okay, I know they ain't seen this, and it happens. But with TikTok, what frustrates me with TikTok is I'm in their their creator program.
Right.
So the creator program, everything has to be over a minute for you to get paid.
Yeah, I
So
think I followed Spencer and Heidi on that one.
yeah. So I'll download my videos
Mhm.
and I'll repost them for the new followers. And TikTok will flag me for it. And I'm like, yo, this is my shit.
You
And it'll
stealing your
say,
own content?
yeah, they'll flag me for unoriginal content. And I'm like, unoriginal. Dude, y'all realize this is my shit, but they don't. You know what I mean? They don't. I guess something with the algorithm and the system,
Yeah.
they're
It's not real
protecting.
people, it's computers.
Yeah, they protected me from me basically. So if I can get paid uh off of reposting my shit, that means
Mhm.
somebody else can do the same thing.
Oh, absolutely. So if I go on Instagram, right, and I turn around and I take and remix. Like I just did this guinea pig experiment last night with the Super Bowl situation, which is interesting. You can remix things. Sometimes you have the option to prevent remixing and you have the option to prevent downloading also. There's a lot of settings in the advanced area that people should really discover and kind of read up on. But
Yeah.
if I remix a video, all I have to do is hit remix and I have to add something to the video. So I can take my keyboard and put period, just a period, and it's black. And I can drag it to the bottom corner, like this is the bottom corner, and set it way over there. So it actually isn't on the content at all. And I can repost that content and it shows up in my reels and it shows up in my grid and it shows up as my content as a remix. So the original content creator will get like, I don't even say royalties, they get something, but I'm able to ride coattails of that person,
Yeah.
which is absurd.
Wow.
Like when you think about it, like, and then they don't take it down. Like I could post anything like absolutely unrelated to me, like an elephant giving birth, and they'll be like, that's her. And I'm like, thanks. But
Yeah.
no. But
Yeah.
it's all computers. If they don't see anything, I mean, it's the same time like when you go to like and you open anything, it's like your FYP, and sometimes it's fucking nuts. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. See,
just
it's with and that's with this new program, man. Honestly, I don't like the new program.
what was
And
that
this is
like
why
when it shut down for the day?
I mean, they say the more views you get, you can make more money than the old program because it was an old program, the Creator Fund, and with that, things had to be under a minute, or it can be over a minute. I probably should have stayed in that program. I just saw that the new program you could make more money, so that's why I jumped on it. But I'm regretting that I did that now because you can't go back to the old program. Once you're in a new program, you can't go back. I'm like, oh
You
fuck.
got the old bait and switch.
Yeah, I'm
But
like,
the
damn.
thing is too though is you can't get frustrated at that, or like can't hate that game. You almost have to look at it and go, okay, well, I'm going to also be a micro influencer. That's where it becomes, and I say micro very loosely, the term micro, they call them micro influencers. So it's kind of one of those things where there's a lot of money in monetization in what you're doing, yes, but there's also a lot of money in product placement. In fact, a lot of companies, if we look at the statistics of like capitalistic America, especially what the hell was that damn ass legging company that like all the women were in that was like fit something or other, like it was all about being in whatever. It was actually talked about in a documentary recently that they found that if they went online and they found like influencers and they were able to give the influencers this, and you would have to put hashtag ad in your, because that's how that works for keeping it from being derailed. They were actually saving like immense amounts of money in their marketing budgets by utilizing people like you or whoever on the internet
Mm,
to sell their brands.
wow.
So, and the thing is they would be like, okay, well, we'll pay you and we'll give you a code. And if I use Ryze 20, I'll get 20% off and then you get X amount of dollars back. Or they'll give you just a flat rate kick off of like, for every video you do, we'll give you 200, 300, 400, $500.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's insane when you think about it, when you think about the money that is around on the top of the ground. But the monetization, it's like, do you think about Spotify at all? How many like listens it takes for them to even to begin to earn money?
yeah.
Because
Like, sure, yeah, I go through this all the time. Like, yeah, you can't really make a real living, or make real money on that unless you're like Drake or Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think it's a fraction. It's like a fraction of a penny each listen. It's like point
it's
zero
like
zero zero four or something like
something
that.
like that, and you have to before they will even begin to give you your 0.0004 penny. You have to have at least 7,000 listens on that song in the first place.
Yeah, see,
Yeah. So
it's
the
ridiculous.
only way to, and I swear to God, I feel like, it's kind of like one of those like espionage things, like the overlords of all these capitalistic companies. You're like, we got to get rid of her. But realistically, in Spotify land, what you really want to do is get into a one of those playlist curators because they will like, and this is how a lot of songs become this. You watch Netflix, yes, no, maybe.
Yep.
Okay, so Netflix has their own series of reality TV, which is not very real. I've never had to be on an island in a bikini for 2 weeks straight. Very awkward. Um, and they have like the same type of music in the background constantly. And if you go to that's where they find it are these playlist curators. So Netflix or whoever, Amazon, even any of these companies, or they have like those like Hallmark level movies, like oh, everybody's in love, and they want to find like an indie-ish kind of song. They'll go to those playlists. Now that's the only way I have found to break that system is to get on those playlists and find that these playlists are given to a playlist curator that has the connection into the acting world. Now you bypass that having the acting credentials as is, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting. It's interesting to think about because when don't get me wrong, it would be hilarious to see an entire movie on the real gangsta guy. I'm just, I'm just thinking how awesome that would be to watch.
Heard
Like I'm
people
like,
say
oh my god,
a
that'd be fucking
movie. I should
awesome.
go to a movie with them in it.
Like how'd he become it? He was running, he found a ski mask using buffalo, it was fucking cold. He put it on. And that's how it started.
That'd be
That
nuts.
would be
Nuts.
so fucking funny. And then it'd be so good. But that's the only way that I have found that. And it's not even like break the system. It's like understanding how it works. It should not take this much strength to do these type of things. Content creators, I don't think people realize how exhausting it is to make content.
They
Like
don't.
it is,
It,
and you get burnt out on people. Like you're like, I'm peopled out. Like, like I
yeah,
just don't want to talk to anybody.
definitely gets burnt out. It's oh my goodness. There is definitely burnout, you know. It's times where I'll just be like, yo, I got nothing. I ain't got nothing today. I
I'm
gotta
going
come
to
up.
Buffalo. I'm going to
Yeah,
a garbage
I got
plate. Leave
nothing.
me alone. I go up to
I
Rochester.
got nothing. Yeah.
Go to the
Yeah.
museum. What is it? The Children's Museum of Play. That place is the shit. Have you been up there since you've been up in Buffalo? I know it's in a little bit of like it's like north. It's in Rochester, so it's like an hour away. But sue me for that.
Oh no, I ain't never been there. Nope.
You need to go. Like it
Oh,
just it it hits a different part of the inner soul where you're just like they have like an entire room that's all old game systems, like Ataris, Nintendos, Segas, all the shit. It is
of
so
course. Yeah.
cool. And everything's life
Yeah,
size.
that's
Like there's
cool because
Sesame Street.
I used to be a serious gamer back in the day. Super Nintendo,
You need
Sega.
to go. It's so
Oh,
fun.
oh, shit, yeah. What's the name of the place?
Strong Children's Museum of Play.
Strong Museum Children of
There's
Play.
like a high ropes course inside. Everything's life size too. So like when you walk in there and like the Sesame Street display, like it's legit walking on Sesame Street. Like there's an area where you can show up next to yeah. Yeah. I can see the
That's
excitement in your face. Like it is so fucking fun. And there's
yeah.
I think a merry-go-round there too. And a butterfly house. Not that you're it's just they fly all over the place and they'll land on you. It's so cool.
Damn. No, yeah, no, that sound fun. Like that'd definitely take me back
You need
playing
to do it.
old video games. Jeez.
And some of like they had a gigantic like life. I don't want to say life size because you know life size is normal. They had a light bright that was like humongous, and you put the pegs in.
Wow. Take it, take it back. Trying to make us kids again, yo.
I know. Well, my 6-year-old, she just got light bright for her birthday, and like I think I've been playing it more than her. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! This is my toy. Like you got karaoke, get up there. Like I'm just like sitting there, and I'm like, this is a donkey, and I can't again cannot draw. So even
Yeah.
with light bright, everyone's like, the hell? It looks like a pheasant. So I can't really explain it. But the Museum of Play is so fun. They have it, and they have like food court in there, and they have like a ropes course, and they have and it's just right down in the middle of Rochester.
Wow.
You need to go, and then you need to like. I'm gonna get an email from you being like, "Thank you," and I'll.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, send me an email to the place. So I'll look them up. And because here's the funny thing, I've never been to Rochester.
You need to go.
Never. I've never been to Rochester. Like actually in Rochester, like, just
Yeah,
there, just in the
this
town. I've never been in the town.
this is
Same
like
with
this is down
same
in the
with,
city.
same with Syracuse. I've never been in like to Syracuse.
Okay, you
I
need to go
always
to the
drove
state
past
fair.
it. I drive past it when I'm driving from Buffalo to Jersey or PA, but never been to these towns
You're
in
gonna
upstate.
make me like a concierge of your New York tourism guide. Like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
see?
first we're gonna go to the state fair, and then we're gonna go to the museum, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna go to there's a zoo in Syracuse too. There's waterfalls. There's High Falls Gorge. Like, I'm from Saranac Lake originally, so we like near Whiteface and near like Placid and all those gigantic Olympic venues and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
there's a lot of really awesome stuff. There's also
Yeah.
the fact that it's under like 80 feet of snow right now. so,
Oh, jeez.
so we won't need to get the sled dogs harnessed, but at the end of August, the state fair is so fun. Man, you'd have a blast. They have free concerts there. You should
Mm.
perform. You should perform.
Hey, somebody book me.
I'll see if I know a guy. Like I know enough people, but yeah, no, there's a lot to do. You'd love the museum, I think. You just seem like a child at heart. Like it just seemed like you'd really enjoy that sort of thing. And it's not just like they have
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
full-size Berenstain
definitely a big
Bears.
ass kid. Definitely a big ass kid. That's no question.
It's so fun. Like I think I have more fun than my
I'm an
kid.
outsy type of person. I got to go out and do activities. If I'm out doing
Yeah.
activities, yeah, that the energy comes out is there.
But the high ropes course, it goes like across the floors and like it's a whole second floor of game systems. And it's like all like there's like yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me
Yeah.
know if you
No.
need me to meet you there. That's fucking fun. Like you
No.
need an adult, I'll supervise. Like,
Let's go. Shit. Let's go.
mm-hmm. It
Let's
really
go.
is fucking fun though. And they had this really cool thing last time I was there where you drew first again, we're back at the drawing, but it was like you color or draw a fish and you hit a
Hmm.
button and the kid would back up, like they scurry back, or an adult in this case. You scurry back, and then all of a sudden your fish, exactly how you colored it, would appear on the digital screen. And you would, this is like a piece of paper you colored. And then it
Oh
would
shit.
go in and they would read it, and then they'd put it up on the screen and it moves digitally.
Oh snap. Oh, that's dope. Damn,
Yeah. So when you're sick of peopling, there you go.
go off and do some art. Yeah.
Go kick some kid off a fucking museum built for kids and be like, you get birthday parties. I don't. Just do this.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
You were already on it. It's more just me now. Move.
Your fish is ugly. No, that's terrible. But it would just be one of those things. But it's so cool though. There's like so much stuff that's like life size in there, built for I don't want to say built for adults, but it's like the kid at heart, like you said. So there's,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's right down in the city too. It actually has its own parking garage. Ooh.
Oh, good. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
you got to pay for extra parking. That's
I don't
always
think it was
that's
much.
always good. You ain't got to pay for parking. That's always good.
But it's like right down in the heart of the thing. And you can snag a garbage plate, which I won't be, but you can because there's something about like putting mustard on anything that just makes me run. I'll separate glitter before I do that shit. Sorry.
No, mustard.
Mustard.
I don't eat mustard on nothing.
Do you ever wonder who the fuck went to their fridge and said, I'm going to take mustard and mayonnaise and put it in this hard ass boiled egg? Like it made deviled eggs and they're like, this is the shit. Let's bring it to the picnics. And they like brought it. Like who the fuck was like, oh, just don't tell him. Like
Right.
eat it and smile and good manners. Like,
Right.
and he fucking put paprika on it. Like, where the fuck did
Yeah.
paprika come from? Man.
Disgusting. Damn, but I like deviled eggs though. I like
Do
deviled
you
eggs.
really?
I do. I do. I didn't know mustard go in deviled eggs?
It's mayonnaise, mustard. Oh yeah. So you
Oh,
hard
see,
boil your
I
egg.
never knew that. I never knew that, but I mean, I love deviled eggs.
You've never made them then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I've never,
have
yeah, I always show up to the party and they're already made. So that's you know what I mean? Like so that's why
yeah.
I don't know what go in. But oh shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're hard boiled, and then once like I have like I'm like an old lady inside a 37-year-old's body. You roll the egg on the counter and it crushes the shell. You take the shell off the egg, and then you cut the egg in half long ways, and then you pop the yolks out, like because they're hard boiled now, and you put them in a bowl, and you put more mayonnaise than mustard to ratio, and then you take a fork and you mush it, mush, 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 mush. So it's yolk, mayonnaise, and mustard mushed all in there. If somebody wants to throw in some, I throw in a little bit of pepper, maybe salt, depending on how it, comes about, maybe a touch of garlic, whatever. And then I put them back in a freezer. Like I put it in a freezer bag down to the bottom. Like I like put it in the corner, cut the tip off, and then I fill the eggs back up. And
Mm.
then you go get the paprika and you just sprinkle it across the top, and that's deviled eggs, my guy.
Damn. Okay. You gave me
You've
the
been eating
recipe.
egg salad in a boat, is what you've been eating.
It's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
It is. It's egg salad in a boat. It's
Uh-huh.
just, ooh, I don't know.
And they're
I just
delicious.
want to
See,
know who the fuck woke up and chose
taking,
violence that day.
taking mustard and just putting it on something like a hot dog and eating it. No, no. But if it's mixed in with a bunch of shit like deviled eggs, if it's mixed in with,
Yeah,
I can eat it that way. But yeah, you won't catch me putting it on a hot dog or a burger or nothing
yeah.
like that.
See,
Uh,
I'm the same way if I have a choice. But I was like raised super old school. So like you go to cookouts, you have to try a little bit of everything. And I mean, you got to eat it and you can't make a face. So it's like you can't like those subtitles, you just got to be like, this is wonderful. Thank you. May I have another? I mean, I feel like it's some level of sadistic torture. Like, but at the same time, like they're like, you really like that? And I'm like, so good, just so good. I
yeah,
can't.
like
I'm so full,
this
I
is
won't
good.
have another, but thanks.
This is
Yeah.
good.
Like so
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
I learned though as a kid that it's just like if you did things in small bites, you don't even just hold your breath and just swallow. Don't even chew it. Just straight down. Like, don't even think about it. And then chase it really quick with like lemonade or something super acidic. Like, just that's probably like the start of alcoholism of half my family. Like, eat shit, take a chaser. Eat, take a chaser.
That's it.
Oh, fuck. We ended up in childhood trauma.
All
So
right.
it must be crazy though. Like in your, so your mother has passed, you said. God rest her soul.
Rest your soul. Hmm.
So when you go to family events, your family has all seen all these videos, I'm assuming. I'm the oddball in my family, so when I show up, everyone's kind of like looking at me out the side of my eye. Did you get that, or is everyone like, he's here, and they're like snapping pictures and like trying to, like, just look, he's still alive, and we're with him, and oh, we were here. Or, like, maybe this will be. Oh, I was gonna say VH1. Wow, I aged myself again. Like putting yourself like in that, or is your family kind of like surprised? What's that like?
Like you mean like are they like surprised by all the
How the yeah?
everything
Does
going
your family ever just look at you and go, "How the hell did that happen? How the hell did you get here?"
Yeah, yeah, they I mean they do for the most part. But I'm gonna no, I'm gonna say they used to me being a goofball. They you know, again, if my mother was here, she would tell the story about me and my music teacher who just passed away too. He passed away a couple weeks ago. God rest his soul.
Now you got to
Miss-
tell the story because they're gonna want to hear it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. God rest his soul. But it was one of my mother's favorite stories about me because she see that you know she saw all the stuff that was happening, as far as like you know my sense of humor and got me famous and all these followers and all that. And my mother would be like, he's been this way ever since he was a kid. You know, this is not nothing new. So so music class. I was in sixth grade. All of our teachers were strict, very strict. So you couldn't really fuck around. You couldn't really fuck around in those classes. I mean, a little bit. We'll goof off a little bit, but you know, the teachers they raise their voice and it's like, oh, all right, time
Yeah,
to get serious.
it was different when you and I were in school.
Yeah. But music class, the music, he
Mhm.
was more laid back. It was more laid back. It was more fun. And that was my opportunity to just let loose. So I used to just clown, make the whole class laugh. I don't know if you remember the show In Living Color. You remember In Living Color?
Yes, I do. I do. I
So,
do remember it. I'm not that
so
much younger than you. My God.
right. We around the same age. Um, but I'm a couple years younger than you anyway. But no,
Don't worry,
no.
that's not Wikipedia-able or anything.
Right. Okay, good. But I knew I was this little sixth grader who
Mhm.
knew how to imitate every character on that show. I had the voices down pat. I can't do it now. Don't ask
You're
me to
a
do
fucking
it.
menace, and I love it.
But in sixth grade, I knew how to do all the voices, all of them.
Mm.
Jim Carrey, all of Jim Carrey's characters, Fire Marshal Bill, all of them. I knew how to do all of them. And when we got to that class, everybody knew like it's time to clown. It's time for It's time for Walk the Clown.
It's
You
like
know what I mean?
it's like loosening the collar.
And and my music teacher was so cool because he got to the point where he stopped trying to be like trying to shut me down because he knew that I had to get this out my
Just let
system.
it happen. Just
So
kind of.
he would just sit back at his desk and just let me just go off. And I would just, you know, just get this out my system, do all the characters, got the whole class laughing. And when I got it all out my system, he would look at me like, you good? You got it all out? And I would basically give him the look like, okay, all right, I'm ready to learn now. I'm ready to get on with the class. And then he would go on with the lesson. So I guess I he we had a parent teacher conference one day, and it was during music class. So my mother was coming. He went to go meet my mother in the hallway. So you already know, as he goes to the hallway, he's not in the class. We in the class without a teacher. So you already know I'm clowning now. I'm really clowning. The teacher's not there.
Yeah.
Oh. So I'm in the class clowning. Everybody's laughing. My teacher and my mother's coming up the hallway, and I didn't know this part until my mother told me. But she told me as they were walking back to the classroom, they hear the class burst out laughing. So he looks over at my mother and he goes, "You hear all that laughing? That's your son. That's your son. He's the cause of all this."
Just that, I can just imagine. Oh, what do you do as a parent? Like, just go,
Yo, and you know, I love them for that. I love them for that because he would just let
yeah,
me just let loose. I was just a little kid. I just needed to get it out my system. I love being a class clown. I love making people laugh in class, and he would just let it go. But yeah, so basically, my mother, she knew from an early age that I don't know, I had this gift to just make people
you
laugh.
were
So
proficient. Yeah.
yeah, so when they see all of this going on, they're just like, this has always been you. All of my friends that see like all the millions of followers and stuff, they said, bro, if we had internet back in the day, we would have been doing this.
Yeah.
This has always been us. It's always been our sense of humor. So yeah, my family, don't get me wrong, they're like, holy shit, you like you all
I
these
think
followers.
anybody would be like, holy shit for what you've
So
done.
they're still like, wow, they're proud of
Yeah.
me. They're very proud of me. But at the same time, they're like, yo, this has always been you. This has been you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and I'm assuming you were actually probably proficient in that class. Like, and when I say proficient, I mean like you felt more productive. You were successful in the sense. And it's kind of it's weird to put that sensation out there. I was voted most unique in my class, which was interesting. But yeah, it was something. Those senior superlatives, I tell you. But
Yeah.
it's also it's weird to think though because that like I go back to my old teachers, the ones that let me do what I needed to do. Like and then I was kind of I learned that was like such an evil laugh. I hated homework. I hated homework. And I'm like, I'm here 6 hours. I'm not going home to be here do more technically. So
Yeah.
and I had to go to work, we were living in poverty. It was kind of crazy. So I learned that I'm like, if I just kind of get to the point where there's internal suspension, right? Like it was so funny. So I had internal suspension in this little room with 3 desks. I'm like, this is way fucking better. I get to self-teach myself. And then I was in like honors for like French and I took Spanish too for funsies, I guess. And
Yeah.
my French teacher would come down and he would like covert op me out of the room. Like he would like look both because when you're in internal suspension, you weren't allowed to use the vending machines. You could have your tray of prison level lunch. And that's what you got. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Nobody's talking to me in here. I'm good. And I'm like, think about it. I can just avoid 5 days of detention and just do 1 day of internal suspension. So it made sense. So
Yeah.
he would break me out. It was like eighth period. And we'd have to go outside under the overpass, up the stairs. And then we would go into the cafeteria. I'd get a bag of smart food and a blue Powerade. And I'd march my ass back down there. And since he was, my French teacher, we'd both speak French back and forth to each other. Nobody's fucking understanding us. And nobody's going to ask us questions. And we'd go back in the room. And it was funny because I'd bring my binders full of my contracts and all of the things I was trying to learn. So I found that I could just bang school right out in an hour and then have 5 hours to fucking do what I wanted to do, read a book. Right. And then I knew my guy was coming in. We were going to get some popcorn and some Powerade and I'm good. It was
Yeah.
and the thing was is like I was in honors for his class because it felt like the environment was safe. Like I could go up to the board and go, I don't know what the fuck this is. And I know he's not gonna like cast this wizardly spell of detention and anger and vitriol at me. I know he's gonna be like, you just conjugated, I boat, we boat, you boat. It's like, I don't know. So it really is kind of hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you were the class. I
Mm-hmm.
love that you
Like you
had
said,
that experience.
like you said, safety. It was a sense of comfort. It was something about, and I guess it was just it's instilled in me at an early age. Like, you know what I mean? It just entertainment, music, entertainment, it all tied in right there. Right
Laughing
there.
can fix so much. Like that's
Yeah.
why I'm like saying like go to the children's museum because like you just go there and you don't have to think about anything adult. Like I'm on fucking Sesame Street. Like I'm not thinking about my fucking bills. Like,
Yep.
I'm not like what's the electric bill in that fucking street like Big Bird. It doesn't work like that. So it's
Right.
kind of one of those
Right.
things. But you would be an amazing cartoon character. Like doing voice acting.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
You would be so fun.
yeah. I would. I actually thought about doing that too. Like I could do voice acting. I mean, you know, obviously I do a bunch of
Again,
different
we
for my
we go back to
characters.
that. You're
So
so versatile. You're
yeah,
so versatile, like as a person.
yeah,
And I don't want to say as a product because it dehumanizes you, but as a like, it's not that you're just talented. Do you realize that aside from your, intent, like I'm holding it like it's a talent thing, you are
mm,
able to utilize it yourself. You're a talent in motion. Does that make sense? And you don't just stay in one place, which is really great because stagnancy will kill learning, which will kill movement, which will kill growth. And that's something you just kind of learn through marketing in the story. And you have such a great story. That is so funny. First of all, that makes perfect sense about
yeah,
that. That music teacher got up there and is like, "That's your son."
yeah,
She just said it to your mom when he got up there, and she's like, "I know." Like,
yeah. Mhm.
so
But yeah,
yeah,
like I like being in all these different pockets because I'm just a like I just love to create. You know what I mean? Like
don't
I
ever
tell
stop. Don't ever.
I
You're
tell people
so fucking inspiring. Like like I'm so
yeah,
proud of you.
yeah, I can't just do one thing. And I think that's part of like being an actor too. Like you want to play different roles, you want to try different things because I really like to be creative, you know? Like if I stay in one lane, I'll fucking go crazy. You know what I mean? So that's why I like to try this thing. Oh, let's put a video out of with real gangsters today. All right, tomorrow let's do a weird bars video. The next day, all right, let's put something out with Benjamin Brockovich, you know, the nerd character. Let's do him. And then I'll be like, okay, I feel like just talking about some real shit as myself. So let me put something out as me. You know what I mean? So it keeps creating fun. You know what I mean? If you're doing the
I
same
do.
thing over and over, it gets kind of, it gets
It's
kind of
not
boring.
creative.
So yeah, 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 yeah. So that's why I like to bounce around and do different things because it keeps it fun for me. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it's the creative process though. When you think of creatives and artistic people, I have never, and I mean, I'm like you. I've got books going. I've got my podcast. I'm a venue manager, a marketing manager, a teacher. Like I got like so much. It's ridiculous, but I love it. And it's like you. I'm like, what am I going to do today? I'm going to do this. But it's the creative process, and that's the thing. Is like you as an artist need to be understood that some days you may just want to lay flat on the floor, like just done with the world. And then some days you get 15 things done, and you're just do, 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 do. But eventually you need that break and then something
Yeah.
happens, you become more creative. There's a process. It's literally called process because you have to do that. And like some days you go through bursts and you're like, I'm going to be this guy. And you might do 4 weird bar videos and then maybe this and then that. So when you look at that, it's kind of like looking at, we talk about these charts that are the lines up and down, and you have to look at where those lines intersect. And I love the fact that you do honor yourself in there too, because that is super important. And I know you're like, I don't even know this crazy bitch, but I'm proud of you. That I don't think people realize the weight and work level that goes into being a content creator, let alone one on TikTok, let alone one with 8 million people.
Yeah.
That's a
No.
lot between the editing, the performing, the alignment, and the
Every,
promotion. And then, you have to interact with your fans and engaging. And it's you. You are your entire team.
yeah.
So, like, I can't speak on behalf of 8 million people, but I am so proud of you for all the work you've done. And you should be like, I know there's so many people that I even know that just they watch your content on the regular because it's inspiring to them to just they're like, even if something's like gone to shit, they're just so relaxed. They're like, this is funny. I can relax. I'm like, yeah, not everything is serious. We all die in the end. It's
Yeah.
just how it goes. So just enjoy yourself and laugh it
You
off.
gotta have fun in the process. Have fun while you're, you know what I mean, while you're here. But yeah, I appreciate you though. I appreciate you for that, man. It means a lot to me, and it keeps me humble. I try to stay humble as much as I can because when I stay humble, it keeps me hungry. And everybody's encouragement and knowing that everybody's like inspired, that's what gives me the fuel to keep doing it. Beyond me loving or having a passion for this, it's definitely the fans that keep me motivated, that keeps me going.
I just hope you realize that there is an entire generation, I mean, that is below us, like that is in school, that is developing their musical talents. I mean, obviously they're called iPad kids and stuff like that now, but they're watching it and they're learning flow from you and they're
Yeah,
learning lyricism. And at the
yeah,
same time, they're also learning humor and they're learning a healthy coping mechanism because what you're
mm,
doing is teaching them to create. Don't get angry. Don't be pissed off. Don't do this. Make something. Do this.
mm,
Challenge yourself. And I think that that is like one of your most underrated qualities is the impact, not just the fact, yes, obviously 8 million, blah, 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 all these other crazy things, but the
yeah,
immense impact you have on the music community that is beyond the TikTok world, that is beyond Instagram, that is beyond everything else. And that is, I was reading through all comments aside from laughing my ass off doing my research last night on you. And some of those comments are phenomenal. It's amazing to think that it's not that amazing because I see how much talent you have, but it's also like, wow, you've altered somebody's life. And at the same time, you're like, this is just so fucking funny. Like, I gotta say this, I gotta do this.
yo, one of my favorite stories, right? I was on tour. See, and that's the thing about content too. You know what I mean? Like, it brings people together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the beauty. That's the beauty in it too. It brings people together. And I was on tour last year, and I'll never forget this. I had a show in Miamisburg, Ohio.
Of
And
course, fucking Ohio would have a place called Miamisburg. Anyway.
no, right?
Sorry.
Miamisburg, like what?
That's what I was like, what the fuck? But okay.
Yeah. And
Oh,
after I get off stage, if we don't have like a meet and greet set in place, I'll just come out and mingle with all the fans. You know what I mean? Just
yeah.
mingle with all the fans, talk to the fans, thank you for coming out and stuff like that. And these two guys came up to me, and the guy was like, "Listen, I want to tell you this story, man. It's gonna be a little tearjerker for you." I was like, "Oh man, what's up, man? Let me have it." And he said, "Me and him, we're brothers. And when our mother passed away a few years ago, and when our mother passed away, we kind of like split, we separated, and we haven't talked to each other in years. And your videos brought us back together."
Eyed.
When stuff like that is like,
That's so huge.
you gotta keep going. You gotta keep doing this. Like, you're bringing people together. Like, these guys are brothers. They've been away from each other. They haven't seen each other in years, talked to each other in years, and they would share the videos back and forth, and that's how they developed their relationship again, and it brought them back together.
You were the deviled eggs.
I was the deviled eggs, man.
You brought them back together. You were the picnic pancake eggs. You were
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Like that's
So
so amazing though. So like, man, Rise, I hope through life, and I know like I'm one of 8 million people. I hope through life and I hope through your career. You always and I again, like I said, I love Gary Vee. You'd like Mark Manson too, by the way, the author.
Mark Manson. Who's Mark?
Mark
That name's
Manson. He writes Everything is Fucked, a book about hope, and he writes another one that's really good. And it just flows so good, and he's always giving advice like just do the fucking thing, and that is really the best advice you can really have. Stop thinking about it. Do the goddamn thing. You're gonna suck your first few times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're
Yep.
gonna, and I look like you. I look back at my stuff and I'm like, this is so cringe. Sometimes
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still even like look at stuff and I'm like, ooh, goddamn. There's moments where if you're not doing that, then you're not growing. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I hope in the back of your head, there is such an army of people, and myself included, just fucking do the goddamn thing, Rise. Like, just do it. Like, just throw it out there. We'll see what happens. It's just kind of like, I won't say throwing shit in the wind, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I hope you feel that,
yeah.
because that one moment where you're just kind of like, is bringing brothers back together. That's heavy. You've
Heavy.
you've saved lives for people in that went to combat. You've brought families back together. Your content has united people. It's got them through the pandemic. It's got them through loss. It's got them through probably having kids in the middle of the night and the baby's screaming and all just watching your videos because they just need to fucking think.
Yeah.
It's it's incredibly impactful with that sense of humor that that music teacher knew, saw, and loved, just like your mother did,
Yeah.
encouraged. So it's, I just hope you know how amazing you are. I really do.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I really love your musicianship and I really love your marketing ability. Like you are so business savvy too. And I think
Yeah.
that's the intellectual side of you shines like perfectly through. Like it is just like when you talk to you, you can hear it and you're going, well, I can't stop. And it's like you should be like that. You should be hungry. You should be consistently pushing.
Yeah.
If you stop
What?
if you stop moving, you stop learning, you stop growing, stop everything. So you gotta keep
Yeah.
fucking.
Got to keep going. Got to keep doing it.
They call it like ADHD when we were growing up. Now we're all doing our thing on the internet and we're like, maybe it's not ADHD.
Yeah. Got to keep moving. Keep going. Keep doing it for your sanity.
It
For real.
is, and it is true. It is good for your mental health, but I'm really glad you do some stuff for yourself in there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Because sometimes, sometimes I don't want to be funny. Sometimes I want to be serious. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to come
You mean you're
do
a real fucking human?
right. I'm human. You know what I mean? So I like to be serious too. That's why I'm excited about the fans hearing my new stuff, like my new serious stuff. I'm putting some stuff together now with my shout out to my boy Peasy. Paul Hendricks. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Baby Paul, but he's a legendary producer out of New York. He produced for like Nas, Fat Joe, Redman, Smith and Wesson, those
Are you
guys.
going in with him?
And I'm working with him. We putting out an EP together. So I'm
Oh, you're
excited.
such a yeah. You should be fucking excited about that. Holy crap.
Excited to put
That's
that
amazing.
out.
Like you're
It's
you're
more
doing
serious.
so much shit. Like you are really like every, hand in the pot in the kitchen, dude.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
really glad you've got the original stuff coming out and keep doing the original stuff too. It's kind of like
Mm,
double Dutch jump rope, which I really can't do either. But double Dutch jump rope, it's like throw your shit in there too, and it'll just kind of like washing machine up and in there. And it's, I mean, all your stuff is phenomenal, even your serious stuff. So I'm so happy for you. I really
yeah.
am. I think the algorithm gods got it right when they picked you. And the
Thank
fact
you.
that I think the fact that you're an upstater is amazing too. Much love to
Yes.
Buffalo. It's, you guys got some cool shit done. I fly out of there when I go to LAX and stuff. I used to do the direct flight from Buffalo right over to LAX, and then JetBlue stopped flying out of there. I loved the airport because it was not so busy.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave me a direct. It was like 5 hours right out of there to LAX, but they stopped doing that. So
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
not getting on Southwest. Right now, I'm not getting on any airplanes given their track record. But
Yeah, especially the beginning of this year. Oh my God! Like all the crashes this year so far is like, shit,
insane.
I gotta fly to Vegas in a few months, man. Like I gotta put
Vegas
this
is
shit
fun.
together.
You're gonna have fun in
Yes,
Vegas.
fun town, very fun town. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
nominated for the music award again. So yeah, I'm going to the
We're
to
gonna
the awards.
manifest that turning into a win is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we get a victory. This is actually, if I win, this will be the second year I won that award. So
We're gonna
let's go.
manifest it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna go all the way to a three-peat. We're gonna get for three. That's our goal. And this may be
Man.
number two. Let's go for a three-peat. So
Yeah.
it's definitely well deserved. And your stories are amazing. I love your stories. And I thank you so much for sharing them with me. I feel beyond honored that you have the conversation with me. Like I was like, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna fucking throw it out there because this is fun. This is something that the podcast is great because everyone kept saying you should do a podcast to me because they want to listen while they're driving and whatnot. And they think it's interesting. They're like, if we could hear your phone call, which is a creepy statement to say to someone, if I could hear your phone calls, then I would love to hear. And I'm like, what do you
What?
think I'm doing? But it's kind of funny because a lot of the phone calls with I love like-minded and opposite-minded people because I love what everybody brings to the table. I love multifaceted people like you who can create, distribute, and somehow find a way to balance yourself in there. I know there's not always going to be perfectly good days too. There's just not. Like I mean even me, like I have days where I'm like I'm not getting off the fucking couch. Like I just, and then there's
Yeah.
days where I'm like I can get so much done, you know.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
post-its over here that tell me what's up. Like I think I've got one that's like her own thoughts and reflections were habitually her best companions. Like it's just, I have all the best, like it's interesting quotes and stuff, and people will come in and write on my board. Like one person wrote, no loyalty and lethal precision. I'm like, okay. It's
Oh, please.
little 15th century drawn, hung, and quartered, but we'll go with that, I guess.
Some deep shit right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's because I read, so they were like, yeah, or they're I don't know. Maybe they'll go. I've never been to prison. Maybe they'll go first, but if they go, I know they have no loyalty. So,
Yeah.
but I think it's amazing. What you're doing is amazing. It's impactful. You're going to get that award, I'm manifesting it, and you're going to continue to do great things. And I think, the few stories you told me, I think you really should hear more of these stories from these people. Yeah. I personally do, because I know there's so many of them. I mean, obviously 8 million, but there's so many people that are just like, I was trying to quit drinking and I needed to laugh, you were there, like, because you don't realize it. It's like you're in their living room in that weird way. Again, them in my phone calls, you in their living room.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, because people watch these, they don't just watch these on their phones. Some people go on YouTube on their TV and it's on their.
How does that feel? Like you're big in their house. Like you can be like projector on the wall.
That's what I mean. Like, so it's wild, man.
I always felt like TVs had like a size cutoff. Like, and I only felt that way after like my aunt got one where it was like, when I walked in, she was watching Cops and it was like life-sized. I'm like, motherfucker, it turned into a horror film real quick because like the TV was so big that people were actually sized of people, and she had put it like kind of too low. So it was like it was fucking running at you right there.
It feel like they was right on top of you and shit. Yeah.
Jesus is a god. It's not. It's just the TV, and now you're. It's just so crazy. It's crazy to think that. It's crazy. So I'm so proud of you. I think I've said that 50 times.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. I like hearing it. I like hearing it because, I just love knowing that my work is appreciated. So, it just makes me feel good. And
do the damn thing. Don't stop. Do the damn thing.
Do it. Keep doing it. Get back to the drawing board and know that, now, instead of me just creating and having fun, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, they're going to love this.
Business moves. You're playing chess, not checkers. Is what you're doing.
They're going to love this. They're going to love this. I got something. I got a special for them. So, yeah.
So I'm going to end the recording of the podcast, and then I will catch up with you real quick for a second. But thank you so much for everything. Really, truly, this has been just marvelous. It's been a great talk. I don't even know if we had a time limit. I think we just kind of kept going. We could just kind of float. So
but I say, we just keep vibing. Yes, it's 7:15.
Like, so you're cool shit. So I'm gonna say thank you on here now, so everyone knows I did thank you, and I'm not a total asshole. And I'm gonna stop the recording. So everyone should definitely go to your Cameo. For sure. Snatch up one of those little cameos, and it's you personally, and you've got a quick turnaround, great rating. It's great. And, to continue commenting, sharing, especially saving, and kind of following along in the content, and, make sure they're keeping their eyes out for that EP's coming out. When is that? Later this year sometime?
We're aiming for like the spring.
Spring. Shit. It's like right around the corner.
Yeah. I got 4 songs done, and we're gonna do like 1 or 2 more songs, and then they're gonna mix, master it, and we're gonna try to put it out. The goal is to get it out before the tour. The tour starts in April, so we're gonna try to get it out before then. If not, we're gonna at least have 1 or 2 songs out by the spring.
I'm so proud. That's amazing, and everybody needs to like catch that when that comes out. Put that where it needs to be so we can get it, please.
Yep.
We want something to cringe about later too, or to hide in our little stashes.
Yep.
So thank you.
But thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. I would like to personally thank Ryze for taking the time to appear on this episode. Visit www.whoischristineanyway.com for access to all the social media links and additional podcast episodes.